Hello and welcome to Cleverroad Studio. Today, we are going to dive into the world in mobile development again. The question is about the price of app implementation. In particular, I will tell you how we estimate a project at Cleverroad. First of all, we provide our client with a rough estimate. It's needed to orient the customer to the amount of money they should count on, as well as outline the broad brush development stages. This data should not be regarded as a document with unchangeable terms and conditions. It's handed out to the client for informational purposes only. Usually, a customer receives the rough estimation the day after they contact us. In specific situations, it may take up to several days. Depending on the requirements, we use two approaches for setting up the assessment. The first one is called the screen-oriented estimate. We adhere to it in three cases. If the client provides the screen's description, if the client points out an example of a similar application, and if the client delivers the ready wireframes. This approach does not involve a precise itemization. It aims to introduce the rough estimates to the client. The second approach is called feature-oriented estimate. It includes a list of options of the future app. Regardless of the selected approach, the rough estimate template contains the following components. General section that describes the preparatory work and consists of project description, database setup, REST architecture. Development stage that addresses the coding process directly. Here, we highlight screens and features that we're going to work on. Integration of frameworks and libraries. Here, we list the external sources that should be used and specify the time for adjusting appropriate settings. For example, for enabling the feature of signing up with social media accounts, we might use Facebook or Google+ mechanisms. The non-development section is mainly related to the technical writing. At this stage, we compose a detailed documentation of our code and provide other papers related to the project. The section of suggestions contains various improving proposals. They may relate to the data encryption, dialects configuration, RAIDAS option, and so on. After all the questions raised at the stage of rough estimate are agreed on, we proceed to the calculation of the detailed expenses. The detailed estimate is performed with the obligatory participation of the developers, who will be directly involved in the product's creation. It is created on the basis of comprehensive record-keeping of the future application, particularly wireframes, specifications, and other documentation. In case a client contacts us with a ready-made documentation package, our managers will provide them with a detailed estimate within 2 business days. If you need us to prepare all the documentation without your participation, the time for setting up the appraisal may take up to 2 weeks. The structure of the detailed estimate template is very similar to the rough estimate template. Besides the description options, it contains such components as business logic and user interface or user experience. Also, it shows the precise time that should be spent on each area of work. Along with that, the detailed estimate displays the level of the risk for each item in the list. It shows the development time may increase under certain circumstances and may reach up to 20% of the planned cost. The detailed estimate does not have the section of suggestions, since both parties agree on all the details and decide on or against specific options. The offer accepted by the client go to feature list. The denied proposals get excluded from the document at all. As you can see, each method of project estimation plays an important role at various steps of workflow. Rough estimate gives an idea of the approximate cost when product implementation is at the stage of vague idea. Detailed estimate specifies a precise sum that should be paid when a client is about to launch the development. In the long run, an evaluation is done for a client since he or she is in control of the budget. So, when you contact an outsourcing company, do not hesitate to ask them to work out all the details. It is better to spend a few extra days at this point than overpay for unforeseen features in future. Well, I'm done for today. See you next time. Be safe, be well, and don't forget to subscribe.